first of all, the big picture is to change to some degree the centricity of what have been closed systems to an open internet system. The platform of Aereo, it's a platform which allows you to get free over-the-air broadcast. If you don't like cable, paying $150 or so a month for services, if you don't happen to have to not live without ESPN, if those are true for you as a consumer, being able to watch all of the free broadcast, all the events, all of the local television stations for $8 a month is an alternative.
So will you eventually create content, create channels of your own on there?
Look, I think we're in this not that long radical revolution. We are only beginning it in video. It just started a few years ago because the bandwidth wasn't enough until a few years ago to allow you to get rich video. Now that you've got that, the centricity is going to shift to the internet. Because, I mean, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a satellite connection with a set-top box, a cable box, another box, a DVR box, or would you rather have one wire connects you to high-speed bandwidth and be able to get the enormous optionality of the internet?
Obviously, the broadcasters think this is a terrible idea, and they think it's an illegal idea. Litigation, it's working its way through the courts. You'll get through one batch, and there's likely, as you expand, to be another. Do you think this big business ultimately is so big and so lucrative that it's worth the continual hassle of the litigation that's likely to continue?
You know, I don't know. I can't answer that because there are conditions where if a certain amount, 10 million, 20 million U.S. households utilize this platform, that will be very profitable. But this is not done because I think, oh, here's a gold mine, I can plant my little flag on it. I'm doing it because, to me, the ability to get the world to utilize the internet for all its information, its entertainment, its news, its video, to me, is a big shift. So, and I understand broadcasters, of course. Look, no incumbent wants anyone in. That is a absolute unbreakable rule.
But is it so much that they don't want anyone in, or they want to be compensated for the broadcast signals that are now on your antennas?
The truth is, yes, except the thing is that the settled law of the U.S. is that if you have an antenna, broadcasters must provide a signal that you can receive without any interference. That is the right of Americans who gave licenses to broadcasters for zero. That's the covenant. All we're doing is providing a technological method for them to receive them. So, I mean, this whole idea, look, broadcasters, me included, not really me included, because it was broadcasters, movie studios, etc., in 1972 or 3 said that the video recorder was literally an illegal thing. And they went to the Supreme Court. And of course, we all enjoy video recorders and all of that. So I'm not...
Okay, so again, I mean, you're working Aereo through this legal loophole. Talk to me a little bit about your...
It's not a legal loophole. It's a right.
Your right is somebody else's legal loophole. But your former boss and longtime colleague Rupert Murdoch is taking this threat seriously enough that he threatened to pull Fox off. Is he bluffing?
I don't. You know what? I think what they're doing is making a lot of noise in the hopes that they'll get relief from Congress. That's actually what I think they're doing. I don't think they see Aereo as a, quote, threat, but what they are nervous about, and rightfully so, is the shifting ground underneath them as it becomes more and more difficult to justify ever-increasing cable fees, satellite fees, as programmers and operators want more and more money, and there are more and more programs. As that closed circle becomes ever more pricey, there are going to be chinks in that armor if the technology which now allows it will allow it. So I understand their general nervousness. My attitude always has been to jump into something that looks very difficult and that is against against the morning line, against what people think will succeed. And, plant my little foot. Sometimes it gets kicked.
Yeah, because that's what everybody says about you, planting your little foot.
Sometimes it gets kicked, and sometimes, it kicks through. We'll see.
All right, let's talk about some of your other companies. Daily Beast and Newsweek decided to go to a digital-only model there. Why did you decide to do that? Did you worry about losing the cachet of Newsweek? And how is that going now that you've done that?
Well, we decided to do it because printing a single magazine is a fool's errand if that magazine is a news weekly. There are some one-off magazines that have no competition essentially in their field, luxury magazines. Advertisers must advertise them in them. But for a news magazine, which is a bit of an odd phrase today, news weekly, we have news instantly, but it was not possible to print it any longer. So we said, okay, we'll offer a digital product. We've got a very, very, very solid newsroom, and we'll see. I don't have great expectations.
You don't?
No. I wish I hadn't bought Newsweek. It was a mistake.
So,
excuse me.
Online publishing, you made an investment in Brightline.
Yes.
What is the plan there? You can't really be going head-to-head with Amazon.
Not Amazon.
Then as you look at this industry...
We're a publisher, not a distributor. Amazon is primarily a distributor, though they are going to start publishing. Why did we do it?
Yeah.
Look, you can take other things that we've done. We looked at publishing, controlled by 5 old-line publishing houses, honorable, very, very deep in their endless histories and all of that. They have no clue about online. We said, and it's also an area between author and publisher that is very troubled. No merchandising, marketing any longer.
Is this a business where long-time, in essence, digital natives will be the long-time survivors as opposed to the legacy businesses transitioning?
I think that look, it's unlike Newsweek necessarily, which is not a rule. It's difficult to totally get rid of, as if there is ridding to be done, but totally get aside incumbents, old line incumbents. I'm sure some publishing companies will survive, but I certainly know this. If there's a competitor who's got plenty of resources, who comes in with an online sensibility, an understanding of internet distribution, and understanding of how you get subscribers and people to buy things on the internet, and that company has a good editor, and we've got a great editor in Francis Cody, has a good editor who can publish good stuff, that company, I think, has a very clean, open window to succeed. That's why. We're
about to get you over to your panel, but before you go, what are you looking at to disrupt next? Where are you headed? I know you have tutors, everything. Tutors.com.
Yes, we like that.
Is education a field that's ripe for disruption, and might we see you more in that space?
There's no question. It's already happening in education. And for-profit education is not going away. Enormous amount of for-profit education has fantastic products. The ability to see a lecture of somebody who is the absolute authority on something, online, the ability to learn online, all of those things are going to change education, I think, for the better.
Should we look for you to snap up more companies in that space?
Not really.
Not really?
We're starting with, again, this is not even a foot, it's a toe.